The first challenge in the Ferguson save is to win a cup within the first 4 seasons. As we are in season 3 now, that means time is running out, and we have just this season and next season to win one of the domestic cup competitions. We need a big focus on the FA Cup as we come into January, and winning the FA Cup this season must be one of our top priorities. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Norwich, part 18, season 3, here in the Ferguson save, set in the future. And as I said, our big focus has to be in the second half of this season, winning a domestic trophy. And as we are already knocked out of the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup becomes a top priority. And today we will be playing 2 games. We will be first at home to Leicester in the Premier League, and we will follow that with a home game against Grimsby in the FA Cup. The FA Cup challenge has begun. We have just 2 seasons left, this year and next year, to win one of the domestic trophies. But aside from the FA Cup, as you can see from the league table, things are going still reasonably well. We are still in second place. We have played 22 games and we have 41 points. But we are still 8 points behind Manchester City, who do have a game in hand on us. Last season, Manchester United were running away with the title. This season, Manchester City are putting all the pressure on us. And we have to win this game against Leicester. We have teams like Newcastle and Chelsea breathing down our necks in 3rd and 4th place. And so a game against Leicester, who are currently in 7th place and doing very well, becomes a must-win. We have to maintain our position in the top 4 and qualify for the Champions League again next season. However, my personal feeling would be it might be better not to qualify in the top 4 this season and just to qualify for the Europa League, where next season we will have a better chance of winning that competition and then completing the second part of the Ferguson challenge. But that will be for later seasons, and we first need to go and have a look at what has been happening on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were last with us, you saw us beaten by Manchester City in the Premier League, and we followed that with a really nice 3-2 victory at home to Ajax in the Champions League. And then we followed that with a 3-1 away victory at Bournemouth, and then a 4-0 away victory at Sunderland. Unfortunately, things came a little bit unstuck when we were beaten away by 1-0 at Newcastle, but we recovered with a thumping 4-0 victory against Burnley. And then we had a very disappointing 0-0 away draw at Manchester United. Disappointing because we should have won that game. They were much more tired than we were, and we failed to take our chances, and I was a little disappointed not to pick up the 3 points. Although a 0-0 draw away at Manchester United must always be counted as a good result. And that brings us to today, where we will be playing against Leicester at home in the Premier League, a must-win game that. And then we will start our FA Cup campaign, and we will be at home to Grimsby Town. That is a game we should be winning, and we should progress quite easily to the next round. And so, as we've seen, we are doing very well in the Premier League, but the biggest surprise is in the Champions League. And in the Champions League, we just have 2 games left. We have to play Barcelona, which is going to be far from easy, and then we will be playing against another Spanish team, Real Sociedad. And I'm thinking that we only need 1 point from these 2 games to qualify in the top 8, but it is still possible, if we get a good result against Barcelona, that we could win the group. And this is something that I have never achieved in FM23 so far, and we are currently, as you can see, sitting proudly on top of the group. Interesting to see that it's 3 British teams who are behind us. Tottenham, Manchester United and Manchester City make up the top 4, but we have played 6 games and we have 18 points, 100% record, and I can't believe really that that is the case as we speak at the moment. Whilst we are a good team, I don't believe we are that good. We are moving into the January transfer window, and whilst we have a number of wanted players, I'm not expecting anybody to want to leave the club at this particular point in time. We have players wanted are Bertrand, Zapropoulos, Wilden is wanted, Hillman is wanted, as well as Andre Jarusu, who is wanted. There are 5 or 6 players who are wanted, but I'm not expecting anyone to desire to leave at this current point. I still do have a problem. I have some money which I can spend. I have £22.5 million left in the budget, but I have been struggling to find a replacement DLP for Mohamed Ahanach. He is now 35, coming on 36 years old, and as you can see, his physicals are declining. He has played 11 times this season for the club, and that is a concern because as we go into the second half of the season, he does have a 1-year extension in his contract which he can trigger if he plays 20 games for the club. Personally, with a salary of £82,000 per week and a 36-year-old player, I think he probably should be moving on in the summer. But I still need to find a replacement for him, and this is proving very, very difficult. So I'm hoping that in January I can find a very good young 22, 23-year-old DLP who will come into the team next season as a key player and solve that little problem for me. But that is something that we don't need to solve immediately. We still are having trouble finding the right player, but we need to just focus on this game against Leicester for the time being. We need to go out there, get 3 points and consolidate our position in second and make sure that the teams below us can't catch us for the moment. I think it's now time to go and kick some balls. And so the team for today in this first game today against Leicester is Gotts in goal with Muntean, Silva, Rugwin and Sweeney at the back. Bertrand, Fortes and Zapropoulos in midfield, with Pook, Neal and Wilden making up the front three. We really should be beating Leicester here today. It's just a case of whether we play well enough. We are fitter than Leicester by the look of it, and we are in better shape than Leicester. Leicester, however, are a very, very pacey team, and they do start matches well. And I think that we do need to show people out there, all the pundits and all the supporters around the country, that we are a very, very good team. And one of the changes that I just might make is to go start the game balanced, because I am afraid that they will start the game very, very quickly, and we need to not be too far on the front foot in order to cope with them. We will probably up that if and when we manage to take control of the game. But we do have the first highlight, a free kick, Zapropoulos, and it's headed over the crossbar by Silva. It's a good start. We wanted to make sure that Leicester didn't get off on the front foot. We've done just that, and we'll remain as we're doing at the moment because we are completely in charge of the game. It's still, though, 0-0 as we are coming up to 15 minutes played, but things are looking very, very good at the moment. And Leicester have not had a shot on target yet, so much for their quick starts. We have had 5 attempts, but only 1 on target, so I really need to demand more from this team. It's not particularly good at the moment. Leicester have had their first shot and it has been on target, so they are a worry, and they do have the match momentum at the moment, which is obviously a concern. But at the moment it's still Norwich 0, Leicester 0. I'm now going to move to a more positive style of play as we get to half-time. We need to get this goal. We need to get ahead of them. We've also playing with the standard line because I do feel their pace might cause us some problems. And we do have a chance, but it's the long shot is charged down. Fortes getting stuck in winning the ball. Comes out to Bertrand. Bertrand needs to distribute. He finds Silva. Silva back to Bertrand. Bertrand, who's playing quite well as the DLP at the moment. He's having a good season. Here is Fortes. Fortes looks for McSweeney. McSweeney, can he find a pass? Yes, he can. He's looking for Wilden. It's not found Wilden. We're still outside their penalty area. We're still looking to try and create something just outside the box. Bertrand finds Neal. Neal to Muntean, and Neto has picked up an injury, and that maybe something we need to focus on. And Muntian has won the ball. Muntian has scored. It is Norwich 1, Leicester 0. It was unfortunate for Leicester that their left wing Neto suffered an injury at an inopportune moment there. And Muntian obviously spotted it, pressed him, closed him down, burst into the box, and has made it Norwich 1, Leicester 0. What a start. We needed that goal. We've kept Leicester very, very quiet. We needed the goal, and we have gone a goal up. And that is a very, very good result as it stands at the moment. Leicester are a dangerous team, but at half-time we are doing very, very well. And I think we need to be telling, I don't want to see a hint of complacency in anybody's performance in this second half. We need to stay on our game. And Wilden is not having the best of games at the moment. I'm a bit disappointed with his performance. But maybe if we can start creating more chances, then he will pick up himself a goal. And we need to get a second goal. We want to put this game to bed. Norwich are beating Leicester quite comfortably, but we need that second goal. Zapropoulos looking for a ball inside and brilliantly put away by Jay Neal. He put his foot through it, and that's what I like to see from Jay Neal. He has a thunderbolt of a shot, and I don't like him chipping goalkeepers or all that sort of nonsense. I like it when he puts his foot through it, and that was a beautifully constructed goal. Ball over the top. Zapropoulos turned inside. Jay Neal absolutely not going to miss that one. It's now Norwich 2, Leicester 0. I think we can safely say that we are going to win this game unless there is some major turnaround. Leicester, though, are very dangerous. We do have to be very careful because they've had 3 shots, 3 on target. And in terms of that finishing, that is quite remarkable for the opposition. And we're not getting our shots on target, but Leicester are. And we do need to worry about that because one shot chance like this is on target again and they've got to go back. And that's all it takes. They are absolutely deadly in front of goal. And if we are going to allow them chances like that, they will score. And the goal is awarded. It is now Norwich 2, Leicester 1. And just when I'm thinking this game was won, suddenly Leicester are playing a little bit better. 4 shots, 4 on target, 1 goal. You can't ask for more than that from your attackers. Why can't we do that? We would be streets ahead if we could. But at the moment, we're still ahead by 2-1. I think maybe now I need to be thinking about making some changes. I do want to put out a strong team against Grimsby in the Cup. But we'll wait for this highlight as Pook is trying to bring it down the left. He's had a very quiet game, has Pook, and perhaps this is his moment. Fortes is looking back for McSweeney. McSweeney finds Muntin, and Muntin is looking for his second goal, but it goes harmlessly through to the goalkeeper. It is Norwich 2, Leicester 1. Leicester apparently were strong starters. They started very poorly, but they are finishing the game very strongly, and they are looking better and better. They have another chance. They've made it 2-2. They have now had 6 shots, 5 on target, and they have scored twice. And I'm going to berate the team because this is not good enough. And suddenly the game has taken on a different complexion, and I need to do something about this. I think we need to try to keep the ball a little bit better. I'm not going to play through the middle anymore, and I don't really know what else to do. We need to step up. We're doing that. We're going to trigger press more often, I think, and get stuck in. I don't really know how to combat this. We haven't been playing badly. We've been a much better team, and they've just taken their chances and we haven't. So I'm guessing here, and that might cost me the game. But I need to go and make some changes now. And so I have made my changes, and I'm very, very disappointed. To be 2 goals up and to let this slip is absolutely appalling. And I am going to shout at them again. I'm going to berate this team. It has cost us big time in terms of putting pressure on Manchester City, who are drawing 1-1 with Newcastle. So I guess this was going to happen against Leicester because Manchester City are dropping points. But we need to do better. We are totally being outplayed now, absolutely being outplayed. And I need to do something. I don't know what to do, though. I really am struggling to know what to do. This is absolutely appalling, and Leicester have hit the crossbar. And I do need to check the opposition instructions, I think. And so we have made a few changes. I've also brought Hosoya on as one last throw of the dice. We need to win this game. I'm really disappointed we've thrown that away. We've clearly been the much better team. They've just put their chances away. We didn't put ours away. Wilden on a 6.2 had to be removed. Neil has gone up top now. And this again is looking very, very poor. Our passing is poor. Suddenly in the second half we've become a very poor team, and I don't know how that's happened. That could be a penalty though, referee. Is he going to give a penalty? It looks like we're going to get a penalty. It would be justified. We are a much better team. Zaprapoulos looks like he's dead. He's really playing the game there for the referee. Come on, ref, I'm so badly hurt, and the penalty has been awarded. I'm not quite sure who will step up and take this now. I'm just hoping that it's someone who is capable of taking penalties. It's going to be Kitambala. Kitambala has missed the penalty, and I am just so distraught with this game sometimes. We've been much the better team, and now they're going to have us miss a penalty. And sometimes I despair, and if this goes in, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. And I think the game is going to finish 2-2, and that's unfortunate. And poor old Kitambala, but he's not a penalty taker. We're not a team blessed with penalty takers, and when Wilden went off, we've had another chance, and we cannot finish, and this is really making me angry. Our finishing is absolutely dreadful. Got to go attacking now for the last few minutes of time added on, but it's not going to happen. It's going to finish 1-1. I'm really angry sometimes with this game. We have to... I'm going to say I'm not really happy with that. That's terrible. I'm not going to sympathise with them. And sometimes we dominate games, we destroy teams, and it seems a little unfair when every shot they have is on target. Manchester City also drew. That's a giveaway, and that means that we were unable to close the gap on Manchester City. But it is what it is sometimes, and this is football. We have a very tough game to get ready for. Well, it's not a tough game, but it is a game that we have to win. We have to win against Grimsby in the FA Cup third round. I don't want to put a weakened team out and let them beat us, because the game at the moment isn't being very kind to me. On the plus front, we have made a bid for a forward, a player who looks very nice to me, and we've put in a bid. He's on a free, and we've offered him a contract. He is Pedro. He is 19 years of age. He can play across the front line. He can also cover as an advanced forward for Wilden. He can play as an attacking mid. He can play as the left winger. He's 19 years old. He looks like he's a very decent prospect. He has a lot of development left to do, but I think that he will be a good signing for free. And we have put in an offer for him, and he is currently making up his mind whether or not to sign for us. I'm really disappointed at the moment, but I've got to pick myself up. And now with a big win against Grimsby, I'm pretty sure that I'll feel a lot better. Let's go and kick some balls. And just before we go to the game with Grimsby, we do have some items of news. We do know that Pedro has rejected our offer. He would have been such a good player to come in and fill in behind Wilden. And also I have been offered a brand new contract, which I have accepted, and so we've almost doubled our salary, which is also a very good thing. But now we need to play against Grimsby, and we need to win this game very comfortably and not go to penalties, because just as normal, the Grimsby side is a very, very good team at taking penalties, and so we need to avoid that prospect at all costs. And so the team for today is Gotts in goal, with Mbemba, Lay, Reguin and Jurusu at the back. Sutherland, Matic and Zakarioka will play in midfield, with Marcos, Kitambala and Wilden up front. And if Kitambala and Wilden cannot dominate this Grimsby team, then we are in very serious problem. We are going to be playing attacking, we're playing with a high line, we're going to press them, and this is a match we should be winning, boys. So go out there and make sure that you do. But I do have faith in you. Let's get out there. Let's go and play some football. Let's kick some balls. Let's have a very good, heavy victory against Grimsby today. Let's get our morale up. We have 2 very difficult games coming up, Villa and Barcelona. Need morale in good shape. We need a good win today. Wilden needs to have a great game. He's bursting into the box. Can he turn? Can he find support? Find Sutherland. Sutherland with the strike. It's Norwich 1. Grimsby 0. We've picked a rotated team in the end. It's still a strong team, and it's a team that should be beating Grimsby. And so far so good. It's in the 2nd minute. We have taken the lead, and it is Norwich 1, Grimsby 0. Things are on course as they should be. Lovely shot from Sutherland into the top corner, and that is as good as it gets. And hopefully we can continue this momentum. I'd like a big win here today. No excuses from the boys. We need to really punish Grimsby. Let the teams around us in the Premier League and the Champions League know we are a force to be reckoned with. But at the moment, we've had all the match momentum. Our shots on target, again, is poor. And it's just not good enough. Our forwards, Kitambala, Wilden, they're just really not shooting well enough at the moment. And they've got to demonstrate that they are worth the kind of investment we are making of them. And Wilden is in space. Can he score? Finally, Wilden has driven it into the bottom corner. It's Norwich 2, Grimsby 0. This is what I wanted to do today. Pick me up, pick the team up, pick the fans up. We've had 2 draws in the Premier League in our last 2 fixtures. Let's get a victory, a heavy win here today, and let's pulverise Grimsby Town. It is Norwich 2, Grimsby 0. Well on target. We are dominating this football match. Grimsby have not been in the game. We have had 73% of the possession. We've had all the chances, really. Our XG is far better than Grimsby. We just need to be strong at the back and keep attacking and not allow Grimsby any sort of sniff of a chance. And Mbemba, who's playing his first game for a little while, he finds Sutherland bursting up the pitch. Zakarioka is getting a chance on the right, gives the ball away. Grimsby looking to get the ball over the top, well covered at centre back by Silva, I think that was. It was Reguin, Jurusu, who's on a yellow card, driving forward. He looks for Sutherland, ball over the top into Wilden. Bread and butter for Wilden. It's 3-0 Norwich. We're in the driving seat. I need to tell Jurusu to stay on his feet, to ease off the tackles. There's no need now to be diving into tackles. We're in the driving seat. Any sniff that Grimsby might have a chance has gone now. And it is Norwich 3, Grimsby 0. 4th round of the FA Cup is on the way. And I hope that we can really get stuck into the FA Cup now, because we do need to win one of these cup competitions, the domestic cup competitions, within the next 2 years. Failure to do that will mean that our 100% record will go, and if it takes another year after the required 4 years, then we will lose 25% of the points value. And I'm going to say I'm happy with how we've dominated possession. And go out there, keep doing it. You're the better team. Everybody's playing well. Enjoy the occasion. And let's get some more goals. Let's really rub it in. And our shots on target still is less than 50%. And that's not good enough when you think that Leicester had round about 95% shots on target. And maybe I do need to be doing some finishing training and getting the boys to focus on putting the ball in the back of the net. But we shall see about that for next week. I think it's time to make some changes now. And so we have made our 5 changes, and hopefully now we can go on and score another couple of goals. We're much, much fresher than Grimsby. Grimsby are really getting very, very tired. We are looking very fresh out on the pitch there. Mbemba finds Matic. Matic having a good game in midfield, considering that he is a winger by trade. Here's Lasharas. Lasharas finds Marcos. Marcos looking into the box. It comes back out to Marcos. He does have a chance. He's made it 4-0. It's Norwich 4, Grimsby 0. We are now in the 4th round of the FA Cup. The FA Cup part of the Ferguson Challenge is still alive for this season. If it doesn't work this season, we have one more season to do it. We can do it. I believe in this team. What a finish by Marcos. He's not had the greatest of seasons. He is considering a contract at the end of the season. He could leave if he wants to. I won't stop him leaving. I have to consider whether to give him a new contract or not, but he hasn't performed as I would have liked him to. But here is Marcos with the free kick. Has made it 5-0. Tono Marcos has come on and made the score 5-0. And what a result this has been. It's what I wanted us to do. I wanted to bounce back after Leicester, put on a good performance, get a big win in the FA Cup. Morale will be good going into the Villa and Barcelona games now. And so that's exactly what we wanted to achieve. And we've done very well. And we have put away most of the real chances that we've had. The game is coming to an end. It is full time. It's Norwich 5, Grimsby Town 0. And that was nice work, everybody. We've got into the next round of the FA Cup. And that's all I could expect from this. A heavy victory against Grimsby. Job well done. And so if we have a look at what is coming up in the schedule over the coming weeks, it is going to be a busy month. We do have to complete the group phase of the Champions League. We'll be playing Barcelona and Real Sociedad. Will we qualify in the top 8? I'd like to think we've done that now. And then we'll have 3 games in the Premier League before we return once the transfer window is shut, when we will have the FA Cup 4th round, and we'll follow that with a game at home to Bournemouth. And that's it for this video. If you're brand new to the channel, if you love FM content and you like to see people suffer playing this game, why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow, help us to support the very worthwhile cause you can see scrolling above. This channel has been set up to support the British Heart Foundation. And so, from a very content manager, I wasn't too happy with the result against Leicester, but Grimsby has made me feel a little better. I will bid you all farewell. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.